The New York Times reporting that after President Trump fired FBI Director James Comey back in 2017, get this, the FBI opened an investigation into whether the president was secretly working on behalf of Russia against American interests. They write, quote, agents and senior FBI officials had grown suspicious of Mr. Trump's ties to Russia during the 2016 campaign, but held off on opening an investigation into him, the People said, in part because they were uncertain how to proceed with an inquiry of such sensitivity and magnitude. The president's activities before and after Mr. Comey's firing in May 2017, particularly two instances in which Mr. Trump tied the Comey dismissal to the Russia investigation, helped prompt the counterintelligence aspect of the inquiry, the People said. Joining me now by phone, one of the reporters who broke that story, New York Times Washington correspondent, reporter, and MSNBC contributor Michael Schmidt. Michael, what can you tell me about this story?
So our collective understanding, the public's understanding of the Trump investigation, the Mueller investigation of Trump, has been focused for the past year and a half on the question of criminal obstruction. Did the president obstruct justice? What we're reporting tonight is that the investigation, initially, at least, after Comey was fired, which was much bigger than that. It was also looking at the question of Trump's ties to Russia. What was he trying? Was he trying to cover up a relationship with the Russians? Was he working with the Russians? Was he witting or unwittingly working on their behalf? And this was the investigation that the FBI opened after Comey was fired. It was a two-pronged investigation. One part was criminal, looking at the question of obstruction. The other part was counterintelligence, a national security investigation into the president's ties to Russia.
Okay. What you're saying is that the FBI opened a counterintelligence investigation, and that's the kind of thing they do all the time, right? If they have an FBI agent, a government worker, someone working in an embassy who they suspect has been essentially compromised, right?
Yeah, the FBI does two types of investigations. One is the old-fashioned criminal investigation. Who robbed the bank? Well, let's go out and figure it out. The other type is a counterintelligence investigation. It's a national security investigation. Its main goal is not to bring criminal charges. It's to figure out what's going on. What is a foreign power doing? Who are they using on the ground to further their goals and their aims? And that is what a counterintelligence investigation does. So they're looking at the question of the president's ties to Russia. What does that relationship look like? Is there really something there? And that is what they began in the aftermath of the firing.
So after the aftermath of the firing, so jolted, I guess, and you can tell me who these folks are within the FBI, so jolted them that they actually launched a formal inquiry, as they would into like an embassy worker or someone they suspected of being a double agent and a spy at the FBI. A formal inquiry is basically, is this individual compromised? Is there something happening here where this person, being the president, is working against U.S. interests?
Correct. And this tells part of the larger story of what was going on at the FBI and the Justice Department in that period of time between the Comey firing and the appointment of Mueller. And it's just a few days in there, but it really had unnerved the investigators, the firing of Comey. They did not understand why the president was doing this. You need to put this development that we're learning tonight into context with the other things that we know about this period of time. Rod Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General, offering to wear a wire and go in and record his conversations with the president, talking to other Justice Department officials at the time about invoking the 25th Amendment and the prospects of doing that. Now we know this, that they opened the counterintelligence investigation. This tells us what was going on inside the Justice Department after the firing, how scared they were, what really unnerved them, and what they were willing to do to try and get to the bottom of it.
So you mentioned the Rosenstein piece, and that was immediately what I flashed back to, which was another piece of reporting by you in the New York Times. Do you know the connection between the two? When we first heard about it, it seemed so almost outlandish or surprising that Rod Rosenstein would say, do you want me to wear a wire to talk to the president? There was some pushback that he was joking, and your sources said, no, he was very much not joking. Is it in this context that was uttered?
Well, this is all the things that are going on, the discussions that are going on at the FBI, discussions that are going on with the Justice Department. You have to remember, the FBI at the time was in a very unusual position because they were skeptical of Rosenstein and all of it, too, because Rosenstein was the Deputy Attorney General. He's overseeing the Russia investigation, but he had also just provided the rationale to Trump, the letter that Trump used to give the reason for firing Comey. So the folks at the FBI see that Comey has been fired. They know there's a Russia investigation. They've wanted to open up this counterintelligence investigation on the president for so long, and they see the Deputy Attorney General providing cover to the president to do the firing. The Deputy Attorney General providing. So they are sitting there saying, what is going on around us? What do we do? And it is in that context that they open these two things, this double-pronged investigation that is obviously an incredibly historical moment to be looking at the president for such a charge.